Well, Happy New Year and welcome. I'm Mike Lamneck along with Connie Smith. And you know what? We didn't have much face-to-face
No,
contact this year, but
no, we
that's
didn't.
okay. We
No, we
still got the
didn't.
job done with the
Yeah,
Fairfield County Farm Page.
yeah. And how does it feel? A year into retirement.
I know. I was just talking to a friend about that, and I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Yeah,
I feel great. We've
yeah,
got some trips planned coming up. We got
yeah.
a cruise. We're going to Japan. Or
Wow.
else not a cruise in Japan, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
two separate trips. We're going to Japan with the family. So, kind of doing what I wanted to do when I retired, working on my music, working
yeah,
on my YouTube channels, doing a little bit of traveling. So it's
yeah.
been a blessing.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm going to figure out how to do
I
that
was going.
retirement gig
I was going to
one of these
ask
days.
you about
One of
that
these days,
because I remember back in the day when we did the radio show, which we did for what, about 25 years.
yeah,
I asked you, or rather, I told you, you can't retire till I retire.
yeah,
Then I went and retired before you,
you
which was
did.
kind of a dirty trick.
Yeah,
So I
yeah. But you know
apologize.
what? We found a new way
Yeah,
to do the farm
right.
page, and which I think has been
Yeah.
great.
And I looked back and I can't believe we've been doing it for over a year now this way.
I know. And you know what? It's made me learn how to do videos better. It's made me learn about new opportunities.
Yeah.
Gets you out in the community a little more.
Right?
The other thing I like about it is our our followers can see a face with the voice.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's really, really
I
important.
think it's been a real learning curve for the both of
It
us.
has, absolutely. I
Really.
would say it has, but you know what? I feel like I connect better with people when we're doing it face to face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you find sometimes the guests, though, are a little more apprehensive because
yeah,
you're doing video instead of
yeah,
just radio?
yeah. They are.
Yeah.
They're a little
They've
bit
got to
like
warm up to it.
they've got to warm up to it,
Yeah.
and then when I say it's just like it's a conversation.
Yeah.
It's all it is.
And
It's a
once you get
conversation.
going,
Once we
yeah.
get going, favorites. Here's probably my most favorite one,
Okay.
which is like
Hard to pick favorites, isn't it?
it is, but our listeners, this one I know had over 500 views.
Wow.
And this was my interview with Kevin Horn.
Yes.
And it was my
Yes.
interview out on the farm,
Yeah.
talking about finishing up harvest, but talking about the heritage of their family farm on
Right.
State Route 188. And I don't think our listeners understood this, but I think you need to understand this. That was really done with the camera setting on a 5-gallon bucket and him and I just setting on an old feed pump.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah,
That's exactly how it came off.
yeah,
I was very down home,
yeah, yeah.
sitting there on the farm. He's a very laid back guy. Seems
He's
to be.
very laid back,
Yeah.
but I hope you heard there were several times when he talked about the legacy of that farm.
Yeah.
He got a little emotional about how it began,
Yeah.
how they're keeping it all together.
Yeah.
But, so for those of you who think that we have really sophisticated tools, we just need a 5-gallon bucket.
That's all we need.
We just need
Yeah.
a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
And so I hope it continues to be that simplistic.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing I think that makes a big connection with the community is the interviews that you do with kids.
Oh, I love my kids.
When
Yeah.
when we're out talking in the community and people talk about the Fairfield County Farm Page, that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things they bring up.
Well, we have always here at OSU Extension talked about those interviews and how this farm page interacts as a part of a duty or a job responsibility here. And when we're doing interviews with kids, the one thing I really like to make them think about is this is what's going to happen if you go interview to serve French fries at McDonald's or
Right.
serve, somebody is going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
when you're doing your summer judging projects, somebody is going to be asking you questions.
You're practicing a valuable life skill.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's really, really
Yeah.
important to me as I think about this farm page and all the years of all the things we've done. That to me is the value of the farm page, is
Yeah.
prepping these kids for their next chapter, whatever it is. Let's
Right.
say we've got a kid who is getting ready to drive, and mom and dad have said, you're going to have to pay for some insurance or gas money. We're helping them understand just going to talk to somebody to get a job. It's a big
Absolutely.
deal.
You know, another value I think we provide is community.
Yeah.
Because you have, now at first it was, and it still is, the farm page, but you have kind of branched out, and you talk to community leaders, and like Fairfield County Lancaster Recycling, Fairfield County 211 have become partners.
They have, and I think it's important. The recycling center, you know, we talk about that with our master gardeners, because what we do as master gardeners is not always about gardening education. I want them to know what's in their community as a resource. I want them to know how they work with the recycling center.
Sure.
What can they take to the recycling center? When can they take yard waste? When can they do this? When can they do that? So when we get out in the community, that to me is an ambassadorship for OSU Extension. The more I teach master gardeners about community, the more we talk about community on the farm page. It's making us be a part of that, touching little things. Jeanette Curtis, you know, Fairfield 211, she is absolutely my hero. I am so amazed by the work that woman does. And if you sit down at a table across from her, she makes you want to be better.
Yeah.
Makes you want to be better.
You know, another one of my favorites. We're kind of doing a wrap up.
Yeah, we are.
We're kind of doing like the best of 2025, which is hard to pick because it was all great. I told you before we started the interview, we did over 60 interviews.
Wow.
During that year. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. It's a good thing I've got the gift of
then
gab.
I got my little sheet out here, screenshot of all the shows we did. Yeah. We did like over 60. One that really sticks with me, actually did a couple. And I watched this guy get a little more loose and start enjoying the camera. And that's Doug Shaw.
Oh, my God.
And the Fairfield County Antique Tractor Club.
Yeah.
It started really to show his personality as the year went on.
Right. It did. You know, the one that we did before the tractor show. Yes. I said, oh, Doug, let's pick a spot on the fairgrounds and let's sit down and let's talk about the antique tractor show. Well, lo and behold to me, there were props. There was an antique tractor that showed up. Yeah. There were all kinds of props. There were all kinds of this. There were all kinds of that. And, you know, you think about community, you can't go to one parade in this county and not see an antique tractor.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
and kudos to them. I don't know if you've probably heard me say this 100 times. They now have the Lancaster Festival Surreys, and with my Fair Board hat on, we've been able to ride on those Surreys throughout several parades in the county with the Fairfield County Antique Tractor Club, starting 4th of July. And we found out from the Fair Board perspective, people like seeing us. So we were giving them a postcard of activities at the fairgrounds, different events. And what we found out was that was really cool to be out shaking the hands of people who come to the fair. I'd never been to the Sweet Corn Festival for probably 30 years. Oh my gosh, what a parade.
Oh yeah.
And
more high school marching bands than any other parade.
Yeah. And like, I didn't realize what it was going to be like when we turned into the festival grounds.
Yeah.
It was just wall-to-wall people.
Yeah.
Holiday parade. We did that, you know.
Right.
So we lighted the float, you know. Our good friend Bernie Fleming with Keller Farms Festival of the Lights said, if you're lighting a float, I want to give you the lights. So we decorated and lighted the float, and we went to 3 or 4 lighted parades too.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
It was. And I tell you, another focus was, of course, the 175th anniversary edition of the Fairfield County Fair.
Sure.
And played that up quite a bit, as we should have. Made it special for sure. Not only the fair, but there were some first-time events leading up to the fair.
Yeah, there were a lot of first-time events. You know, the food truck festival was something. We opened the historical buildings.
Yeah.
I think the big thing that folks will remember more than anything else was the fireworks.
Yes.
At the fairgrounds.
Friday night, right?
Friday night. And then the 175 off the mountain. You know, here's the thing. you only get to celebrate that once in your lifetime.
Yeah.
So we did it in a way that we thought was very, very cool. We also have a legacy video of some folks who have been near and dear to the fair's heart, but also reaching into the community with Fairfield Heritage, you know, some different folks like that have been an integral part of the history of the fair for many years.
Well, another thing, and it's just an extension of what you do here at OSU Extension. Boy, that wasn't redundant. And that's Fairfield County Consumer Services and other, you know, educational programs like that.
Well, you know, nobody can be an island and work well. You have to integrate yourself, and you have to have community partners, and you have to build those relationships. And for me, I've been doing that a long time at OSU Extension, but then, you know, roll into a little bit of a role with the Fairfield County Fair Board, and that you're rolling into building those community relationships, and that's really, really important. That's really important. Extension couldn't survive without the community supporting us. The fair couldn't survive without community support, and trying to hit that sweet spot to tell those stories about those relationships for me is it's the part of my job I love the most.
Well, finally, let's look ahead. So what can we look forward to in 2026?
Oh gosh, I can tell you that there's going to be more 5-gallon bucket interviews. I can tell you that for sure. We're going to have Doug Shaw around quite a bit with Antique Tractor Club information. We're thinking about what's the 250th birth of our nation going to look like.
Yes,
you know, big celebration coming up there.
Right.
And as always, lots of youth interviews. We're going to be doing a lot of that. I anticipate doing more things with my gardeners because they're starting to know now if I've got my cell phone, there's a really good chance one of them's going to have to do a video with me, whether they want to or not. I'm hoping we can get Stan on a few more times to talk about what agriculture looks like.
Yeah.
You know, so we're very excited for 2026. You know, you turn the page every year and you think, wow, I can't believe. I kind of have a problem, Mike, getting myself out of Christmas mode and New Year mode, and I just want to stay cuddled up at home. But then I kind of think about, this is a blank chapter. Every month is a blank chapter.
Right. Yeah.
So
you know, I'm struggling with that as well.
Yeah.
As we record this, I'm going to go home and we're going to be taking down our Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Which I just wanted to leave them up like one more week.
Yeah, me
so
too.
It's so cozy and everything.
Yeah.
It's got to end sometime.
Well, I took my lights down like when it was 60 degrees.
Right, a lot of people
before.
did. Yeah.
And so now I the tree's down. I still have a few things I think I'm going to leave out just because I like that intimacy in my house. I like that.
Yeah.
I just like that.
Every year, Kelly and I have the discussion. Is this a Christmas ornament decoration or is it a winter decoration?
Yeah.
So we can leave the winter decorations out.
Exactly. Hey, speaking of winter, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. And subscribe to the channel, please. Yeah. And check back for more great interviews and shows here on the Fairfield County Farm Page.
Thank you so much, Mike, for all you do.